Good day, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. Oh, wait. Want to check in? How's everybody feeling? How's everybody doing? Anybody still seeing their sign from 2 days ago? Anybody still seeing what we were looking for? You can drop a one in the chat if you've been on all week. We've been expecting to see things that we've thought and held in our minds for a certain amount of time. Let me know how you guys are doing. Are you guys implementing the tools? Are you guys implementing the strategies that's being released? If you are implementing them, what are you seeing? What are you experiencing? Drop them in the comments. Just want to make sure that you're actually applying everything you're receiving and not just receiving and receiving more, digesting, but not physically applying it. Thank you for dropping the one. So I want to welcome everybody. I want to thank you for joining me. I want you guys to understand that where we are, we're in a huge shift. We're in a huge run. We're ascending, which is actually coinciding with when our brother Yeshua ascended. Some of you call him Jesus. So it's everything is syncing up. So I need you guys to understand where you are. When you understand your times, when you understand the seasons, when you know what's going on in the cosmos, in the galaxies, in the heavenlies, makes it easier to walk on this earth. But when you walk blindly, when you just walk in wander, sometimes, unless it's an intentional wilderness, but when you walk blindly, it's harder to be in alignment, full alignment. So I want to welcome everybody to World Changers with Smiley Brown, mandated to be the defender of humanity, protector of mankind. I bring you thought-provoking, mind-shifting wisdom. Grab a notepad and a pen and prepare for a paradigm shift in the next 45 minutes. So again, I pray that you're not just receiving, but not applying. It does you no good as an athlete to just lift weights all day and never physically go see what you've increased, where you've changed, where you still need to build up strength, where you still need to build up stamina. Because you can have a lot of power. There was a team, and I won't say the name, but there was a team when I was running that the strength coach had come from my school, and he took our strength program there, but he tweaked it. So we did the exact same strength and conditioning program fall for 4 or 5 months. But when we came out to our very first meet, our bodies looked different. We were slim, but cut and very explosive. They were very explosive, but they were bulky. He took out our body, he took out the body weight lifting, the body, like when you're doing calisthenics. He took out the slimming agent. He took out that part of the strength and conditioning program. So they were big and bulky and powerful, but not as fast, because you can't carry that weight around the track. It's impossible. You have to, you have a running weight that you have to run in. And I'm saying that because you have to understand, you have to test it. Of course, it was his first year and he tweaked it from then on. But that's the problem with many people: consume, but never test out the end result, never walk it out to see if it's truly going to work. You could see that we looked similar, but they could not hang with us because they were too bulky, too heavy to run with that weight around the track. So today I want you to understand, which is why I'm asking, are you applying what you're receiving? I know we receive a lot. I know we get a lot of insight, a lot of do this and do that. But remember, the one thing I tell you is do what your spirit feels led to do. Don't do everything. Don't add everything. Holy Spirit, is this for me? Holy Spirit, is that for me? If you know what's for you, then it's easier and you don't feel as guilt ridden or shame for my A-type, high order thinking personality people who have to do everything. Good day, good day, good day. So I wanted to start out with making sure that every day you understand that you have to ask yourself, did I apply what I learned yesterday? If you applied what you learned yesterday, then you get 1% better every day. It's a fact. It's a proven fact. If you apply what you learned yesterday, that is if you are seeking knowledge, seeking to change, seeking to be different. You have no choice if you apply it, because what happens is you're going to apply it and it's going to do great and it's going to build your confidence. Kind of like when we did that exercise and I said, think of something crazy like a purple dinosaur. And when you see a purple dinosaur, what did it do? It increased your faith. Try it again. That's going to increase your faith. Try it again. Now your faith is on a whole nother level. And then when you need to do it for something really big that means something, your faith is already there. That's applying it and it working. Some of you may apply it and it didn't work. Some of you did not see that crazy sign yet. But does that mean it doesn't work? No. Did you try it again? Did you go back? Did you see what you did wrong? Did you try to perfect it? That's in application. That's how you grow. Because we're used to, what happens is, I just heard this guy say in a video, that dementia is not really a memory deficit. And this is just the surface, not the scientific side. He said, it's the fact that you stop learning new things. So the neurons that fire, hey, let's learn something new. Hey, let's learn something new, goes dormant. There are cells in our body that retire if we don't use them. And if they happen to be in your mind, in your brain, that's where dementia comes from, which tells us what? As humans, we always are constantly learning to keep our minds sharp. And we know that, but do you do it is the question. Do you keep your mind sharp? Do you read books that are hard to understand, where you have to read it 4 or 5 times? Like that one sentence just makes your brain like on fire. You're like, something I just listened to and I said, and I went to the comments and they said, not me running to the comments to see if someone made this simple English. And I just started laughing because I thought the same thing. And then someone said, I'm going to have to listen to this like 10 times. Those are the things I gravitate to because that's expanding my conscious. That's expanding my mind. It's taking me out of my comfort zone of simple thinking or things that I understand immediately. It's forcing me to dig. When do you allow God to force you to dig? When do you allow God to force you to say, I don't understand what I just read? Or do you stay in your comfort zone of the area of, I know what this means. I understand this, so I'm chilling. I'm going to stay right here. So I really want you guys to understand the power of application. You can't be a great anything unless you apply it. I always say, no one has ever stumbled on being an Olympic gold medalist in any sport. There's sacrifices, there's discipline, there's diligence, there's things that have to go into place. And Usain Bolt said it best. I practice and I sacrifice and I'm diligent for 4 years to run a race for 9 seconds. Many of you can't be diligent for 3 months. Just think about that. 4 years. For those of you that know anything about the Olympics, and if you don't, you practice 4 years. Your food intake is on, it has to be on a certain level. You can't start year 3. You have to start, and it's even sooner before that. But if we're going to stick with the Olympics in every 4 years, you literally have to start with the mindset training, moving things around, shifting things 4 years prior to the event. That means when your friends are going out partying, yeah, you can sometimes, but you're going to feel it the next morning at practice. And then if it doesn't add to your goal, what do you tell yourself? Are you disciplined enough to be like, is this going to help me with my end goal? If it's not, nope, not doing that. If it is, okay, well, then I'm going to do it. So I want to start something new today. That was just a recap of what we've been doing all week. I need you guys to understand that the present is the most important thing that you will ever have. And I mean present, not a gift. I'm talking about the present. Your present as intense. Many of you have this insatiability, or you're so fixated on the future that you completely miss the now. Then there's the other half of you who are wrapped up in your past, which then again makes you miss your now. It's your inability to be and stay present is what's absolutely stopping you from being limitless, vast, great, infinite as God has called you. Staying in your future and staying in your past blocks you from being limitless. The present moment, think about this. The present moment is everything, and it's all you will ever experience. You've never experienced the future in real time. Follow me. You've never experienced, you will never experience the past again. The only thing you have ever is the now. So that is why in our community, when we say, God, thank you for blessing me now. I thank you for my car now. I thank you for the increase of love in my marriage now. It's because we operate in the power of now. We nurture the now. Why? Because God is in the now. God is not in the future and he's not in the past. He already wrote it from the end and then came back to the beginning. But we operate in the now. So whenever you say, I'm moving, I'm going to a new school, I got a promotion, it's starting in 3 weeks. Think about this. When it happens, it's now. Anything that happens to you is always, now faith. There you go. He even says it, now faith. Anything that happens to you is always in the now. Just stop and think about it. I'll be starting a new school in fall. I can't wait to start the new school. You're all into the future. It's May and you start a new school in the fall. But when you start, it's the now. If you are following me, drop a 1 in the chat. I need to know that you're following me. I need you to understand the power of now. The enemy makes you miss so many things because you're constantly in the future. What if? Let me save for this. Let me do for that. And you don't live now, or you're always in the past. I messed up. I did this. I did that. And you don't operate in the now. Okay, perfect. So you guys are following me. All right. Now, you are constantly, the number one problem is you're constantly rehearsing your past. Okay? When you rehearse your past, you fill yourself with worry, guilt, shame, and anger because you never rehearse the good. Let's be real. Let's be real. When you rehearse the real good parts of life, it's very minute, maybe 1% of the time. The majority of the time you are rehearsing when you messed up, when you didn't do this, when you didn't do that, when someone hurt you here, right or wrong. Be real. When you rehearse the past, you are basically filling yourself with worry, guilt, shame, and anger. And you're making your body and mind believe that it's now. Because I keep telling you, your subconscious and your mind doesn't know fake from real, doesn't know reality from false or fiction. It doesn't. So when you sit down, that's why when you sit down and rehash, this person hurt me, this person did that, you feel it in your body as if it just happened and it was 30 years ago. Because your mind doesn't know what's real or fake. So you're literally filling yourself up with anger, frustration, and worry, guilt, and shame over something you did years ago that nobody even remembers. And then when your blessings come, or then when God is trying to bless you, you are out of sync. You are no longer in alignment to receive what He wanted you to get that day. Remember the story I always tell you. When I was working at a job, pregnant, and I would have a bad day, baby would mess up the shirt, can't find my keys, and now I'm late and I'm rushing, and I'd get to work in a funk. All my clients were funky attitudes. And I'd be like, ugh, I need to leave and come back. He'd be like, no, it's you. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you got a funky attitude, so you're attracting you. So I said, all right, how do we change this? Next, building to it, learning it. He's like, don't let not being able to find your keys, don't let the baby spitting up on you or having a bad morning, whatever, mess you up the entire day. Deal with it and release it. So driving to work, I'm like, all right, I release it. I'm good. I'm going to get to work when I get to work. Everything is going to work out in my favor. Basically self-talk, positive self-talk to get out of the funk. I get to work, and I have a 10K day. And I'm like, hold up. You mean to tell me I've been missing these kind of days because of the funk? Yes. When you allow the enemy to keep you in a funk from something that happened in the morning, you miss what God had for you. And that's a process. You got to learn that. It's hard to get out of that because that's your norm. That's who you are. You've been like that. And no one's perfect. Everyone falls short. So it still happens sometimes, but you've perfected it to where you're like, I think it was Gabriel the other day who said, I saw it and I straightened my back and said, nope. And that's maturity. Not that you're never going to fall again, not that you're never going to be angry again, but you can catch it before it takes you down that path that it used to. Okay? That's the past. The future is you always projecting yourself to the future, which brings anxiety and panic. And that's why we have people on all these meds, because no one stays present. And when you're not present, guess what you miss? You miss blessings. You miss blessings for yourself, blessings for people. How many you go to the store and you're so on your phone that if someone was trying to catch your eye to bless you with something to pay for your groceries, you'd miss it? Think about it. We are always distracted. Even when you're in the now, you're still distracted by your phone or doing something else. So your mind is either in the future or in the past. And now they've given this contraption as a phone that when you're in the line, instead of having your phone in your pocket to be observant of your scenario, to see if there's someone you need to bless or if someone needs to bless you, you miss it. So I need you to stop putting yourself in moments that don't exist. Just listen to what I just said. Stop subjecting your body, emotional, your feelings, your heart, your mind in moments that don't exist. The rabbit hole that you allow yourself to go down. The frustration you feel because you're 30 and you're still single because the world says societal norms is you should be married and a mom by now. Those moments don't even exist. They're not even real. But you are literally jacking your entire body up because emotional stress can take you out. Emotional burdens that don't even exist. You're worried about being evicted and you're nowhere near being evicted. You just know that right now you don't have enough or this or that. You don't even have an eviction notice at your door, but you are concerned about being evicted. Do you see where I'm going? Do you see what he's trying to show you? Especially with the way the economy is right now. What do we say in World Changers? We don't live in this world. We live in Goshen. So you can't touch me. Whatever's happening in this world can't touch me. I will not be caught up with inflation. My finances will match inflation. I will not be caught up in not having food, because my God will provide food at any given moment. I will always have what I need. That's abundance. I always have what I need when I need it every time. I live in abundance. I walk in abundance, and I live in Goshen, and I'm protected. Any plague that is on this earth cannot come near my dwelling place. But instead, we rehearse what doesn't exist. That exists because God told you it exists. He's shown you it exists. We are in the season of deliverance. This Hebraic calendar moment, we are in the process of counting from Pesach, which is Passover, to Pentecost. We are approaching the ascension of our brother Yeshua. We are dead smack in the middle of when the children of Israel were delivered, removed from Egypt, when they crossed the Red Sea. Those are all moments in time of being delivered, being set free. This is the same time you're supposed to be set free. The same time you're supposed to ascend and let something die. The same time you're supposed to trust God in the wilderness, in a part of a season where it doesn't look right, but he's going to provide the quail because you're tired of no meat. It doesn't feel right because you have no water to drink, but he'll turn the bitter water into sweet water. You see what I'm saying? You got to know where you are in the seasons and times, so that when the enemy tries to push you into the future, I can't wait till I get this, I can't wait till I get that, you're like, nope, I am right here, and I'm thankful what I have right now, but I'm grateful for what's coming. We don't dismiss it because it's reality, but you don't live in moments that don't exist because you miss the now. You are now on autopilot. That's why many mothers, many fathers wake up and be like, wow, where did the time go? You were just 8 years old. Now you're 18. What happened? You were on autopilot, living in moments that didn't exist in the future, living in moments that already existed, but you can't do nothing about it in the past. And you allowed the enemy to steal time from you, where time is irrelevant and doesn't even exist, but you allowed him to steal precious moments that are right now in your face. Dream crushers. The goal, I want you to write this down. The goal is to wake up every day, to live peacefully, and to walk in love. That's it. When you walk in love, God can use you. When you live in peace, God can absolutely use you. He uses your presence. He can use your stance. He can use you the more you walk in love and peace, because that's being exuded. That's what people are going to receive. That's what people are going to get from you everywhere you go. You're going to release love. You're going to release peace, knowingly and unknowingly. Sometimes it's just your presence. How many of you have gone to the grocery store and someone just told you their whole life story behind you? I mean, you know, she was divorced, you know, she got beat, you know, all that. Just drop a 1 in the chat if you've ever gone to any store and within minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, if you're standing in a line or if you're just walking and you meet someone, you know her entire life story. That's because that's the peace you carry. That's the joy you walk in. That's the love you walk in. And God is allowing you to hear that so you can pray for them, minister to them, or release it off of you to them. But the days you're in a funk, don't nobody approach you. Don't nobody tell you let's be practical. Let's be real. The days you don't want to be bothered, you're irritated, you're frustrated for whatever reason, nobody approaches you. Not in that way. Maybe someone comes to you to give you insight and give you encouragement, but no, not at all. Not at all. So the goal is to wake up every day and live in peace and walk in love. Right now, you wake up overthinking and think that it's a good thing because you justify it by saying you can't lie to an overthinker. That's not a good thing. Overthinking causes stress and anxiety. High order thinkers causes stress and anxiety because you don't know how to use it. He didn't give you a mind that is so analytical to dissect everything. That's not what it's for. He gave you a high order thinking mind, analytical, A-type personality, detailed to the T, so he can use it for his glory. So he can give you things that others won't dissect. So he can show you things that he knows it's going to take you moments after moments time to dig, and you will sit there because you're that detailed. You use it for the opposite. And that's who I draw. That's exactly who I draw. High order thinkers, overthinkers who beat their chest like, I'm such an overthinker that you can't get over on me. No, don't lie to me because I'm going to think over and over and over and I'm going to figure out the truth. That's not what it's for. So, anxiety creates heart issues and depression if it stays too long, right? If you overthink and subject yourself over and over and over to moments that do not exist, no longer exist, you are creating heart issues. And that manifests in the natural as depression. That manifests in your heart as heart palpitations, heart issues, cardiovascular issue, blocked arteries, all that when it comes to deliverance. What I'm going to say after this is I'm putting a disclaimer out there. It's going to challenge the mind of those who aren't ready to receive it. What I'm about to give you is going to challenge your mind if you aren't ready to receive it. And that's okay because I know who I am. And I'm either dropping a seed into your life right now about this, or I am watering and cultivating what has already been dropped in the form of seeds, or you're going to bear fruit. And I'm okay with all three because I know that I am not all three in your life. And I know that I'm one, maybe two. I'm one, either I'm dropping these seeds, you've never heard it before, you've heard it, but you still have limited beliefs about it, and you're like, nope, and you're still got that wall up, that's cool. Or you're transitioning from, I've heard this so many times, maybe I need to look in the mirror. Maybe I need to really think about this. Now you're transitioning to these seeds being watered, these seeds being cultivated and germinating, finally sprouting roots to dig deep. Or that's already happened and I'm about to drop some seeds and it's going to help you bear fruit and you're going to start seeing the aha moments. I'm just giving you the disclaimer. This is going to challenge the mind of those who aren't ready to receive it because I'm challenging something you've believed was right for so long. It's helped you in school, the high order thinking, the A-type personality, the logical mind, not being creative, not a risk taker. I'm challenging that because in God, you have to take risks. In God, you have to be able to trust him blindly. In God, you have to be able to say, you know what? I don't know what you're doing, but I trust you and I'm going to walk. I said yesterday, when God says, when your physical, let me start backwards. Let me go back a little. When your physical dad says, give me that food, and you're like, but dad, this is all I have. You think your physical dad's going to take the very food off of your plate and not give you something better? If your physical dad said, give me them keys to the car, but the car is already hoopty, you got to, jump it from time to time, and you're a young lady, and your dad said, give you back the key, give him back the keys. Do you really think he's going to leave you without something else? No, he's saying, give it to me so I can give you something else. I can give you something better. I'm trying to connect the dots between the natural and the physical, the natural and the spiritual, because many of you, there's a disconnect in trusting and leaning on God. Trust in Hebrew means lean, have confidence in. It's your job. It's something you have to build. So when God says quit that job and you don't have 2-3 months saved up of emergency fund, When God says leave that job and you're like, but I'm check to check, and if I leave, I'm going to go under. God is not saying leave it because I don't have something better. He's saying leave it because I do have something better. Let that go. That was for but a season, and the season is over. Let it go. Trust me, I got you. I'm your dad. I'm not going to tell you to let something go to let you fall. Remember, your subconscious mind likes to prove you right. Okay? What that means is whatever you believe, whatever you stand on, is what your subconscious is going to prove to you is real. So if you say, I trust God, I trust God, I trust God, then your subconscious is going to prove to you that you trust him. If you say, I don't trust God, I'm not sure, like this and that, and I don't know if I can do this, and I don't know, last time this, last time that, then that's what it's going to prove to you. So I want you to write that down, that my subconscious proves me right. Your limited belief about God, it's proving you right in your environment. It's showing you that you do not trust him. And if you trust him blindly, your subconscious is going to prove through your circumstances in life that you trust him. You are not your thoughts. Your thoughts control many of you. And I was there. Started working on my thoughts in 15. Your thoughts control you. We're going to do a quick little exercise. I'm going to turn up the music. Well, no, I'll leave it the same because I don't want to have to. So I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute. Okay? And with that 1 minute, I want you to absolutely sit still, take a deep breath, hold it on a count of 5. Take 2 deep breaths within this minute. I want you to take 2 deep breaths, hold it for a count of 5 to 8, whatever you can do, because if you're just starting out, it's going to be harder to go to the top of the 8. So, and I want you to hold it, release it, blow it out, and I want you to quiet your mind. Those are the instructions. Take 2 deep breaths when I tell you to go. I want you to quiet your mind, and I want you to just relax. Ready? In 3, 2, go. No thinking, no thoughts. Keep going. More than halfway done. All right. Now I want you to drop a 1 in the chat if you were able to do it and you thought of it. I want you to do put a 1 in the chat if you thought of absolutely nothing. I don't know how I ended up on mute on wisdom. I'm so sorry. I just saw that. Drop a 1 in the chat if you thought of absolutely nothing. Your thoughts were quiet, it was still, and you were just relaxing. Drop a 2 if you were like thinking of something. Oh, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to think about that. Get out of my head. Stop. No, I'm not supposed to be even talking. If that was you, drop a 2. Drop a 1 if your thoughts were absolutely quiet. Drop a 2 if you were battling in your mind to be quiet. So we have some 1s. We have some twos. We have some more ones. Now, that is a test to prove to you that your thoughts control you. Many of you in World Changers should be able to do that now because we do that a lot. When your thoughts control you, that is what happens. Here comes a negative thought, and you're like, go away. Here comes another negative thought, go away. By the time you say go away 3-4 times, it done wore you down. You done went down a rabbit hole. Now you're in a funk the rest of the day. Someone said calling me out this morning. Huh? Hi, nice to see you. Someone else said guilty. He had to put me with someone no one can figure out, and I'd go crazy if I kept crazy to figure her out. I had to learn the hard way. Stop overthinking everything. Figure everything out. It's a long, dark, hard road. And I want you to change that. Everything you just wrote, I want you to copy this and I want you to write it over. And I want you to change those words because your mind believes what you say. This is how you felt, but I'm going to help you switch that. I want you to rewrite this on your paper, notebook, whatever you have, and put, I will learn the easy way. Not overthinking everything and figure out and not trying to figure everything out. It's an easy, light-filled road. Change that, and you will change it for yourself. I've grown so much in this area, and it's taken time to release myself from being a high-order thinker that was negatively impacting me. Yes. So, do that every so often and see your growth. Your thoughts, you own your body. Why are your thoughts controlling you? Absolutely not. When I figured that out, I was like, oh, hold up. No. I'm in control of my mind. I'm in control of my thoughts. So then I went to God. I was like, how do I? Because God can only do but so much. He's not this genie that's just poof, turn your thoughts off. Unless you surrender, which means stop resisting him. That's a whole nother story. You got to do your part. Your part is protecting your mind. I put the helmet of salvation on. I cover my thoughts with the blood. I think things. You don't tell me what to think. I'm in control of my mind. Holy Spirit, I have the mind of Christ, which the mind of Christ is controlled by God, not the other way around. Those are just some affirmations you can start saying. Now, this is what I really wanted to say. And I want you to make sure you take these notes, write them down, because I'm speaking directly to you, and then we'll wrap up because I know today is a day for family more than ever for some people. You came here equipped. You are more than equipped. It is time to walk in your bloodline blessings. I didn't say birthright. I didn't say natural born gifts. I said bloodline blessings. You need to walk in your bloodline inheritance. There's a difference. Your bloodline, your lineage, all the way back to Adam and Eve, has a blessing, multiple blessings. Just like that same bloodline, all the way back to Adam and Eve, had curses or has curses. What are those curses? My dad's alcoholic. My dad was on drugs. My mom is abusive. Those are the curses, and we're quick to point those out. What about your bloodline inheritance? What about your bloodline blessings that are in your DNA? That are in your blueprint? That are in your genetic genome code wrapped up? What about those? We dismiss those, and we're focused, hyper focused on the curses, on the negative. So I'm telling you, The ascension is this week. Okay? The ascension is this week. Before I go further, if you are interested in the private Zoom event that I'm having tomorrow, which is the private ascension meetup, every year at the same time in the Hebraic faith, when our brother Yeshua died on the cross, something had to die in his life, and it was him. He was the sacrifice. We know that. I'm not going that route. But he had to die so that he could ascend. What has to die in you for you to ascend this week? We will be having an ascension meetup, private Zoom meeting tomorrow. There's 2 parts to it. If you are interested, email executive.assistant@smileybrain.com and you will get the information today. She's sending the information out today to those who sent that I would like to be a part of it. And we will meet up tomorrow. So I will not be on live tomorrow on YouTube, Clubhouse, or Wisdom, because we will be doing a private event. So, time to walk in your bloodline blessings. Time to be aware of them and how to operate in and through them. Those blessings are way different than anything you have right now. Those are supernatural abilities. They're superpowers. These are things that have been cut from your bloodline, things that have been stolen from your bloodline, things that have been taken, removed, hindered, blocked by this world. Our ancestors who went through trauma, they forced trauma on the women, on the men, through all kinds of torture, pain, and hurt. And the trauma trumped our blessings. Hear me. It's time to awaken those gifts. It's time to awaken the genetic codes in your DNA that says what your lineage was placed on this earth for, to do, and be. Like, practical example is the royals. Every royal in this world, their DNA is predestined to be a royal in the natural. Well, you are predestined to be royal in the spiritual realm. But you're not acting like that. You have been set apart. You have been elected, chosen. You are a God on this earth. You are in his image, but you don't act like it. You don't walk like it. You don't talk like it. It's time for you to demand attention by the authority that you carry by just entering a room. And you'll notice it when it turns on. You'll notice that when you start walking in that, people just turn. And some of you already have it. When you walk into a room, people just turn around and look at you. It's like, dang, do I have something on my face? Something off? Did my makeup off? My hair out of place? If some of you already have that, you can go ahead and drop a 2 in the chat. If some of you already walk in your anointing where you command attention by just your presence, it irritates people by just your presence, and you know it irritates them because they don't like you and you have never really done anything to them. Or they walk in offense and you did something and you offended them, but they won't say nothing to you. So how am I supposed to fix it? How do you fix that? It's time to take that up a notch. It's time to exude confidence and the power that God has given to you by just your presence. See, I have not said by what you say and by what you do. I haven't said that. I said your presence. It's time to realize your quiet confidence. Remember the lady that I told you I sit under? God told her, I tell the story all the time because it goes with where we're going. Absolutely can be embarrassing because you don't understand it at all. It's kind of like if it was a movie, the music, every time you walk in, the music goes, and everybody stops and turns and looks at you and spotlights on you if it was a movie. Absolutely. Even if you just walk into a grocery store, people turn around and look at you. And you're just like, is that normal? And then I've literally sat and watched When someone, I've sat at the door because I'm like, maybe it's because they work here and they're supposed to turn around and say hello. I've sat and watched other people come in and they don't do the same. And I'm like, okay, no, that's not the reason. So the lady that that I'm referencing, I'm going to tell this story because this story is powerful. Many of you have already heard it, but I told you I'm going to keep repeating the things until it becomes your norm. She had just left the church service conference. She walked by a satanic church and she heard the Holy Spirit say, go in. She's like, I know that's not you, God. She kept walking. He said, go in. She got in her car. You know how it does when he tells you to do something, but you don't. It gets louder, stronger, heavier. She was driving and he said, if you don't go in there, she turned around and said, okay. Got out the car. She's dressed in white. She goes into a satanic synagogue. Of course, they're all in goth, dark black, and she's in white. She walks in, and just like that, everybody looks at the door because she's sticking out like a sore thumb. She don't belong there. And sure enough, she walks in and she goes, okay, what are we doing? And he goes, go to the stage. She goes, oh, you want me to preach? You want me to talk? She picks up the mic and she couldn't say a word. She stands there. She starts groaning. What does it say? That when you don't have what to say, the Spirit will groan for you. She starts groaning. She starts groaning in the Spirit. She stays there maybe 15, 20 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember how long. And then she leaves. As quickly as she got up in there, she left. A year later, a lady comes up to her at another conference and says, do you remember me? She goes, of course not, because when you first saw me, I was in goth. I was in black. She looked at her and she's like, remember that? She goes, oh, yeah. She goes, I was the high priestess. That was my synagogue. I said, when you left, I shut that thing down. Your presence alone made me quit, shut it down, and everybody in that coven is now of God. Did I say she preached? Did I say she spoke? Did I say she uttered a scripture or a word? It was her presence. When I say the children of light are being raised up to combat the children of darkness through our presence, many of us don't know how to do that. And that's the new era of fighting. Your presence. It's your presence. It's the power that you command with your presence. You've got to increase your presence. Remember, I told you the Satanist that I was listening to, the ex-Satanist, he said every believer who truly has a relationship with God and the Holy Spirit, truly, not this fake religion, not you straddling the fence, half and half, you don't pray, you don't seek him, you don't commute, truly are a believer of God. When you pray in tongues, there is a light that emits from your belly to the heavens. It's like a light rod. And I heard it the other day. Another girl on one of my pages, she was a tarot card reader, and I was just like, God, really? I don't feel like it. He goes, listen. She said, what's happening now are the children. She called them light workers. That's what they call them in that realm. She said, light workers, when you do your work, you have a lightning rod that goes from you down to the center of the earth and up through the heavens. It's the same thing. It's the same language. It's just different. When you are truly of God, I'm not talking to the fickle. I'm not talking to those who don't obey. I'm not talking to those who are in and out. I'm talking to those who are 100% committed to this fight, who will die for God, who will do their job diligently. When he says go left, you say how far. When he says go back, you turn around. When he says stop, you stop. Do we fall short? Yes. But you dust yourself off and say, okay, let me regroup. Which way was I supposed to go? Those have the lightning rod. Those have the light that emits. The old you is not supposed to go where the new you has been ordained to go. I'm going to say that again. The old you is not supposed to go where the new you has been ordained to go. The ancient spirits of darkness are being released, and we are here to destroy them. You did not survive 2020 for no reason. You survived 2020 to destroy these spirits. You are a super weapon against hell. I'm going to say that again. The old you is not supposed to go where the new you has been ordained to go. Ancient spirits of dark. This is ancient, you guys. These aren't these normal little imps we've been dealing with. These are ancient. The kingdom of darkness is flexing right now. The kingdom of darkness is exuding things that we've never seen on this earth. AI, kingdom of darkness, alien technology. Technology is going in a realm that if you don't discern who's really behind it, oh, you're going to get jacked up in the realm of the spirit. The spirits that they are releasing are ancient. I have been used to help people get free from demons, and I can tell you, certain parts of the world, them demons, boy, I'll be glad when they say it's not from here, when they say it's not from there. Them ancient spirits take more time. There is something different about an ancient demonic entity that's released. They're all old, but there's some, whew, they make you sweat. I'm just being real. As we wrap up, the ancient spirits of darkness are being released, and we are here to destroy them. You are here to destroy. If you are hearing me, you are here to destroy them. You are here to destroy them, not shrink. You are here to destroy them. You survived 2020. He tried to wipe out the strength of God. He tried to wipe out the strong ones. And some went and they weren't supposed to. And some went because they were supposed to. But he tried to wipe out the warriors who were willing to stand 10 toes with God's kingdom. So you survived 2020 to destroy these spirits. You are the super weapon against hell. And I need you to make that an alert. I need you to write that somewhere that you see it. I am a super weapon against hell. Don't be afraid. So I'm going to end it there. There's a couple other things that I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put a pin there. And when we come back on Tuesday, because like I said, tomorrow we're doing our private Zoom event. I'm going to come back on Tuesday and we're going to finish this. Because there's some things we need to release off of this. I'm going to take you through some series of repentance, some series of removing and uprooting some thought processes that's blocking you from being the super weapon you're supposed to be. So I want to thank everybody for joining me. You guys have an amazing Mother's Day to all my mothers. Enjoy your day in America, because I know I have some people in London in here. I know it's not your Mother's Day, but here in America, it is Mother's Day. Enjoy your day. I pray you get exactly what you asked for. I pray you feel the love, the joy of motherhood. As tough as it can be, I pray you are able to enjoy it. What's the word I'm looking for? There's something that I'm going to do with just women. It's going to be another private event. What is it called? I wrote it down, but it's escaping me. Hold on one second. Because God is really doing something different. Anybody have anything they want to add? The floor is open as we close. It's called When a Woman Takes Power. That's going to be a private Zoom event, When a Woman Takes Power. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's going to be a private Zoom event on When a Woman Takes Power, what happens. I've been watching a lot of strong women lately, and a lot of them, when they own their power, the men in their lives rise. When the men allows them to be the woman that they are called to be. I literally just watched Cleopatra last night. And when that man was vulnerable enough, keyword, vulnerable enough to say, I'm stuck, I'm hurt, she was able to speak into him, but not just speak into him, he was able to receive what she was speaking. And that's the key word of the yin and yang of marriage that we all have to learn to walk in and honor that. Yeah, watch it through those eyes. She was very, very smart and strategic. She had her reasons, but she was also the rock, and he received that rock. And that's the power in it, that he was able to, the men on here, that he was able to receive, even though he felt defeated, he felt lost. She was able to be used to speak that into him, and he received it, whether he liked it or not, whether he felt it or believed it or not. And sometimes that's not always the case. You're not always able to do that because it's not received. So when a woman takes power, that's the next private Zoom webinar, whatever it's going to turn into, because I have no idea. It's just a thought right now. So let's see. Someone had a comment. So yes, you guys have an amazing day. I don't see any comments. I don't see anybody with raised hands. I just wanted to come on here and make sure you guys understand we have one day left. Ascension is tomorrow. Ascension is tomorrow. I also have my link up there if you want to be a part of the exclusive email community. I'll put it on YouTube real quick. If this is something you're interested in, you can definitely join the private email community, where you will always have up-to-date information on what we're doing as a community, where we're going, things of that sort. Or kind of like now, you wouldn't even have to put your name on the list. You're already on the list. You would have gotten the information that was mailed out 2 or 3 days ago. So this is just a way to stay up to date. You can go ahead and there is a 2-step confirmation, so make sure you confirm it. It's going to send you an email to confirm that you decided to join. Also, don't forget, we have the reset audios that will help you completely and totally be ready. The veil has been separated, you guys. The veil has been separated. And I talked to you about that earlier. When the veil is separated, that was like when Elisha was able to get the double portion because the veil was removed. That was like when he prayed and said, "Show my servant," right? Show my servant. There's more for us than against us. There's moments in time when God allows the veil to be removed, and we're in that right now. The veil has been removed. So the audio that I created, that the Holy Spirit gave me to create, is to help you maximize that the veil has been lifted right now. Go hard. I told y'all to go as hard as you can. Do not get lazy. Do not get tired. When the veil is lifted, miracles, signs, and wonders that he said we're supposed to do greater than him, great exploits, can happen. And it happens every so often. Don't miss it by being lazy. Don't miss it by being out of sync. I said be delusional with it. I said go hard. I said do it as what is it? Ask the Holy Spirit, what is it going to cost me to not go hard, to try to see like Elisha when he said, if you see me, you'll get it. You know what he had to do? Or David, listen to the rustling of the mulberry trees. Do you know how intent he had to listen to hear some mulberry trees and then to know the distinction? This is what I'm telling you. And we are in that moment right now. So those 2 links, the second link is an audio that when you listen to it all day, it's going to speak to your spirit. It's going to remind you, like in the background, let it play. It's going to remind you what you're supposed to be doing. It's going to remind you, oh, that's right, the veil is separated. It's removed right now. Let me go in. Let me go pray. Let me go worship. Let me go pray in tongues. Let me do something to get what I've never gotten. I've got to do something I've never done before. This is that moment. Then there's a set of decrees that I want you to pray every day, all day. That's going to help you stay in alignment. Okay, these are tools to add to your supernatural toolkit. This is just like if you were picked to be the ambassador of your team, but you've got to be able to be ready. Your coach comes to you and says, this is what I want you to do. This is who's coming, so I need you to do X, Y, and Z, and nobody else knows. This is the veil. If you're a dancer, if you're a singer, and they want you to be the face of the company, the dance company, but they're coming as a surprise. So none of your other dance mates know. You're going to try harder. You're going to perfect that turn. You're going to point your toe. You're going to do things to prepare you. I need you to make this practical. The veil has been lifted. The veil has been separated, which means angels are going to be able to communicate with you better. You're going to get more insight, more wisdom. You're also going to see demons more. But if you are seeking the Most High in a certain way, as long as this veil is lifted, you're going to get more insight. This audio that I created and the decrees that I wrote based off of my notes and the information I gave you is going to help you. If you want that link and you're not on, the link doesn't seem to be working to your email community. Okay. So I can email it to you. I'll email it to you. Or you can just email executive.assistant@somalibrown.com. But I'll go ahead and I'll correct that as well. Thank you for letting me know that. You guys, I'm pouring and giving everything I have because that's my job as a defender of humanity, to make sure you guys are prepared and ready. And this is something that you need to be prepared and ready for. If you are not seeking God like you ain't never sought him before in these times, as in it started last week. Here's one, ma'am. I just sent it to you. If you are not seeking him over and above, delusional. I mean, I'm waking up in the middle of the night like, okay, God, what you got? Give me a dream. Take me. I want to experience an encounter with you that I've never experienced. Let the glory take me someplace I've never been. These are the prayers that are in this reset audio, prayers that most don't think about, to help you expand and go deep within going beyond the veil. So, anybody else have any other questions? I know someone said that the link wasn't working. If the link is not working, definitely you're welcome. You're welcome. And then here is my link to join my email community. And I'll fix that on Wisdom. Thank you for letting me know that it's not working. Anybody on Clubhouse have anything that they want to add? All right. Anybody on YouTube? I know you can't come off and talk, but anything in the comments. You guys have an amazing day. Keep pushing, keep shifting. The veil has been lifted. It's easier to get into God's presence. If you've been waiting on a prophecy, this is the time you go to him and you war with that prophecy. You go into his presence and say, you promised me marriage. You promised me a loving husband, a loving wife. You promised me motherhood, fatherhood. You promised me X, Y. If it was spoken over your life and he promised it, take it to him right now. The veil has been lifted. You can have a face-to-face with Yeshua like Moses did. This is that time. Don't miss it. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. Have an amazing, amazing Mother's Day to all the mothers. Have an amazing day with your family. Enjoy your mom. If your mom is not here, I do pray peace and solace to you. I do. And I thank God for every woman who has a womb, because without us, without a woman with the womb, spiritually and naturally, we birth what needs to be put on this earth. That's what we came here to do. We birth nations. We birth warriors. We birth. That's our job. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. All right, you guys, have an amazing day. This room and this live is closing. Keep shifting. Stay open. In 3, 2, and 1.